Yeah, hello guys, and of course it's the one and only Dalmas Viola aka Madam Pettymouth in the house. Guys, karibuni sana hapa Mtembei TV na tuko na president wa bunge huko Nakuru. Habari yako?
Okay, mzuri sana.
Kwa majina kamili unaitwa nani?
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Mr. Robert Makoha Wangoho. Bunge la Mwananchi President Nakuru. Asante sana kwa kunikaribisha studio zenu. Yeah.
Umekaribiwa sana. So unatoka pande gani ya Kenya?
Okay, originally I'm a person from western region of this country, specifically Bungoma County. Huko ndio mimi nazaliwa. But apparently, I've schooled in Nairobi during my early age, now that my parents were around here. Ilikuwa Shauri Moyo. But later on, because of education, higher learning, university, nimekuwa huko, Laikipia University, Nakuru. In Nyahururu, I mean. And I ended up settling in Nakuru County. Yeah.
When did you join politics?
Politics has been with me, and I have been with the politics. Personally, naweza sema kwamba nimeingilia masuala ya kisiasa around 2017 vizuri, lakini we normally have the silent followers, so I was one of them for the previous years. Yeah.
Okay, umesema unatoka Western. Wacha tuanzie hapo kidogo. Tuko na Nuru Maloba Okanga. Na ako pale bunge la Jakaranda. Nuru Okanga aliweza kushikwa na ijulikani kama ni rais, lakini Dennis Itumbi aliweza kutweet like it's not the president who arrested Nuru Okanga, that Nuru Okanga president ako na vitu mingi za kufanya yenye hawezi anza kufuatana na Nuru Okanga. And rumors has it like inaweza kuwa ni Oscar Sudi. First of all, do you think like the government walifanya vizuri ama vibaya kwa kushika Nuru Okanga?
Walifanya vibaya because we are abide by the jurisdictional rights as Kenyans. We have the freedom of expression as provided for in Article 1 of the Kenyan Constitution of the year 2010. Therefore, if at all the government gave the reason that it arrested Nuru Okanga based on whatever that he spoke on the previous day, then it was wrong, because whatever he was saying was right. Alikuwa anasema mambo ambayo yanaendelea, na akasema reason why yeye ataendelea kusimama na Raila Amolo Odinga because Raila is a Democrat. So yalikuwa makosa makubwa sana kumshika huyo ndugu yangu Nuru Okanga. Yeah.
According to the wife's message, she said that Nuru Okanga was arrested just when he entered the bathroom. Do you think that the government at least should find a way how to arrest people, at least alert people prior?
Yeah, that was an indecent act. And I hate a government that double speaks. When it is a politician who has been impounded by the DCI at their homes, these people were complaining that at least they should have a decent way of getting those people, the suspects, arrested in a manner that is respectful. But that one, when it comes to the common man who is trying to fight for the rest of Kenyans, you realize that they are doing the direct opposite. I'm being told that my brother was in the bathroom. So it was so wrong and inhumane for them to arrest him even before avae nguo. You see mtu ako kwa bathroom, then wewe unamarrest too without notice. I don't think when I'm around, I'm within the country, you tell me that we shall be coming to pick you at this particular time. I'm not going to run anywhere. I just respect the order and then I wait for the people. Alternatively, you can call me to come and report at a given time instead of coming to embarrass me and even touch me or arrest me in an indecent manner the way they did to him. Yeah.
So the UDA delegates that are trying to say that Nuru Okanga should have found a way how to address President Ruto even if he's in Azimio.
Then that one will be hypocrisy. You know, if I want to tell you the truth, I should not hide anything. And especially if I want to speak something which I believe, I have evidence that it defines you. The way they wanted Nuru Okanga to address the president is not his opinion. Whatever he said is what can define Nuru Okanga. And even if it will be me, still that is the manner in which I will have addressed the head of state. And I don't believe he abused him or used foul language while addressing the head of state. But what pained the government is maybe the reality which he spoke, of which they are now trying to blackmail him and the rest of us who have not spoken. So that in a near future, they think that now that Nuru Okanga was arrested and harassed, we can now fear and sit back and relax. I can tell them for free that actually we are very ready. And the moment some of us were given those positions and we came out to lead from the front, it simply means that we are always ready to fight on, kupigania wananchi wetu wa Kenya ambao wengi hawawezi wakaondoka kwa nyumba wakakuja kwa National Assembly, ambao wengi wanatamani watoke lakini hawana uwezo, na wengi wanakufa njaa. Afadhali sisi tukufie mbele kuliko sisi pia wote tukae kwa nyumba njaa ituue tukiwa tumenyamazia. Yes.
Being that Nuru Okanga just did his KCPE exams, results zilitoka na yeye ni mtoto wa shule. Sasa tunamclassify kama mtoto wa shule. Do you think that Machogi could have addressed citizens on Nuru Okanga's arrest?
Personally, I believe that as the CS of education, he ought to have come out and clarify this issue, which is by now, even myself, who is a close friend to Nuru Okanga, I'm not convinced that my brother actually sat for that examination. And if he did, why would it be a fallacy, or rather something which is more of a puzzle to the public? If NEC is in office, it is very safe for NEC to identify the index number that our friend used to sit for the exam and publish the results, just like the way they publish the results for the almost hundreds of millions of students which sat for the examination. Yeah. And also Nuru Okanga himself should mature up, tell us, aache mambo ya kiki. Tunataka tujue kama kweli amekomaa, na kweli tujue kwamba alipoteza tu 27 marks peke yake, akuwe mwanafunzi wa kwanza Kenya. Tujifunze kwake alitumia dawa gani hiyo mzuri, because tunatamani vile anatafuta uongozi tujue kumbe this man is a genius. Na hiyo itakuwa tu hivyo kama atakuja out atuambie kwamba indeed I only attended class for a single week, I sat for the examination, and miraculously I scored 401 marks. And challenge us or even ask us, how many of you will have done that? So you can trust me with the leadership position that I'm seeking come 2027. But if he continues hiding this, keeping quiet, telling us maybe lies, that one does not add an ounce to his weight, but instead will and is likely to make people lose some trust in him. Yeah.
Okay, suppose elections were conducted today in Matungu constituency, you as a lawyer, would you have voted Nuru Okanga as an MCA, suppose today?
Okay, I can't be malicious enough to go maybe and vote in a constituency whereby I'm not a registered voter, but should it turn out that I am the registered voter in that particular area, I would have supported him, because in politics we look at this matter in all dimensions. Just because this man has not maybe attained a degree, it doesn't mean that he's not a leader. From the manner in which Nuru Okanga speaks, it clearly shows that he can actually lead. Kuwa kiongozi sio tumbo kubwa, sio urefu, sio Kiingereza mingi. You can be a leader through the actions that maybe you show the public. And in him, we can actually ascertain, justify whatever he normally do to show that he can lead, the constituency in the capacity that he is seeking. Yeah.
Okay, tukitoka hapo kidogo kwa Nuru Okanga tufike kwa bipartisan talk. Inasemekana Kalonzo alipiga sahihi So Wakenya wanasema ni kama tunadanganywa. In your own opinion, what do you think?
Okay, in as much as I support Azimio la Umoja, which includes leaders of the caliber of Kalonzo Musyoka, as a leader now of Bunge la Mwananchi, I stand with the people. I have diverse opinion. Kuna jina yenye huwa mnamuita huyu jamaa Kalonzo Musyoka toka zamani. What is that name? Nickname? Watermelon. Yeah. That name somehow defines him. Because we took him as a senior panelist in that committee to steer the agendas of the people of the lowest rank in this country called Kenya. But when he reached there, and by the way, allow me to state for the few who might not be aware that these people, Kalonzo Musyoka and Kimani Ichung'wah, have been pocketing up to a total of 50,000 for only 2 hours they were spending in that sitting. So you can ask yourself, for about 4 months they have been in the same, how much they have pocketed. And a person of the caliber of Kalonzo Musyoka, who by now we believe is a rich man, but he's not in office, is not being paid as maybe they expected when we were doing the elections. This is a man who took the opportunity to make good money. Are you getting that? And even when they said that they needed more time, like for them to be added more 30 days, I just knew that it was a plan for them to continue minting millions from the poor Kenyan taxpayers. Are you getting that? So, in my opinion, I don't think it was right for him to amend the signature, given that the issues affecting the common man, whom we are fighting for as Bunge la Mwananchi, have not been addressed. We wanted this hustler, common man, to be excluded from the housing levy. That's why we were advocating that it gets scrapped off. But unfortunately, they left that issue away. At the same time, the VAT tax that had been implemented to the hustlers of this country from 80% to a whopping 16%, it is unsustainable. That's why we were looking forward that the best they could do is for them to return it where it was initially, that is up to 80%. But again, they ignored that issue. Now, when you come out and tell us about the creation of a new office of the Prime Minister and 2 deputies, that reminds us that, again, you plan to add us a burden, because who is going to pay these people whom we have created offices for? Obviously, it's a common man who has already been overtaxed. Sasa, sisi kama mabunge ya wananchi, we don't endorse that document. And at the same time, I can say that these people, having spent millions on allowances and perks, other perks like the fueling of their cars, it was wrong for them to finish the talks, yet they have not captured the human needs. Are you getting that? So in the first place, if you are following the first attempt to have the talks and the second one which flopped, William Samoei Ruto himself, who is the president of Kenya, did not have good faith for the same. Yeah, because they placed Keinani there, knowing that he belonged to Azimio la Umoja, they removed him. Why did they remove him? It means that they knew that it was wrong for them to be placed there, for him to be placed there. And the need for him to be there was to sabotage the whole process, which was wrong. And for your information, Uhuru Kenyatta stabilized this economy, which was in jeopardy at one point, when the Azimio la Umoja leader was demonstrating every now and then. The situation calmed. Uhuru never used money. They held a handshake. They sat down on their own. So there was no need for forming these 2 panels from Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja. Wameongeza mzigo. We can believe that if in 2 months, first 2 months, for your information, it was gazetted that this panel had consumed a total of 110 million shillings. they were added time. Are you getting that? So that is to say almost 200 million shillings has so far been spent. The money which Uhuru Kenyatta never spent for him to bring peace and stabilize the economy, which they were, associating it with the frequent demonstrations that were being led by the opposition leader. So that is where they went wrong. And we are demanding that that document be considered null and void because it is not capturing the needs of a common man who is a taxpayer. Yeah.
Okay, tukitoka kwa bipartisan tuingie hapa kwa privatization of government entities, especially KICC.
Okay. Thank you very much once again. Now, this is another issue that the president is testing the waters on Kenyans. First of all, this man tested the waters when he wanted to sell the KPA. He wanted to privatize the Kenya Post Authority and sell it. But there was an uproar from the community leaders from the coastal region, and they refused in totality. You remember Abdul Samad, the governor of Mombasa, calling upon Raila Amolo Odinga. They held a meeting, and later on they said that no port was going to be sold to an individual investor. And at the same time, they also threatened to, for the few CSs and other principal secretaries which were in Kenya Kwanza government, also threatened that they were to form a political front. Yeah, to forge a political front which they will use as their future political vehicle. So after William Ruto seeing that this one was going to impact in a negative way in his political career, he quickly came on board and said that no one was going to sell what? To sell the KPA. Today, as I'm speaking, this year's in his government called Simon Cherugui also came out yesterday to say that no one was going to sell the new KICC. But initially, it was amongst the 32, the list of 32 companies or parastatals which the president had claimed that he was to sell. Are you getting that? So, before I proceed on the same issue, allow me to quickly point out some of the 2 or more issues that we are likely to face. Should Ruto continue with his plan of privatizing key stakes instead of pumping money into them to improve them? One, should we have key parastatals of the caliber of KICC, Rivertex, Pipeline, KBC, be